seemed to be people trying to discredit both the architect, Maya Lin, and the color selected for the memorial. And this reached the point where it took on a life of its own in terms of racial overtones. I had heard this one time too many, and we needed to set the record straight. And so that's the response I had to some of the people who were criticizing not only Maya Lin's heritage, but the color of the wall.
30 years ago today, there were 100 veterans with shovels, and we were turning the earth in unison to build this monument. None of us really knew at the time how important this would be.
58,000 dead, 300,000 wounded, 70,000 in Veterans Administration hospitals. And then we saw the continuation of this debate in Congress and in Washington over whether we should have a memorial. So, you know, Jan Scruggs' contributions and the many people that rallied around him, from political life and the military, and from the young people who had fought Vietnam, it was magnificent that we came together and found common ground to recognize sacrifice and valor and loyalty to the country that asked us to fight.
Each year, thousands of people come to visit the Vietnam Veterans Memorial. Many reach out and touch the wall to feel some of the 58,000 names that are etched in black stone.
A child's drawing, an American flag, combat boots, flowers. Thousands of mementos like these are left at the Vietnam Memorial Wall every year. Silent messages that say, you are not forgotten.
Ten names have been added. Many friends, representatives, the families have traveled many miles to be here today.
We gather to remember the lives, the service, and the sacrifice of 10 heroes of the Vietnam War that are now being added to this sacred wall.
Today is Memorial Day, when we recall all those who gave everything in the darkness of war so we could stand here in the glory of spring. And today begins the 50th commemoration of our war in Vietnam.
Memorial Day is an appropriate opportunity for all Americans to come together to pay tribute to all those who have fought and died for our country across more than 200 years and on battlefields near and far.
This rose is a yellow rose from my dad, Lieutenant Colonel Henry M. Serix. He's still POW-MIA. Yellow roses for missing in action.
I can't come to the wall without remembering the first day that I came here. I parked right over there on Constitution Avenue. I was walking across the grass with my wife, and I was looking for a memorial, and I couldn't see it. And then I turned that corner right there, and it was like someone grabbed my throat. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't breathe as I contemplated the loss to our family and to our country.
Early on Father's Day morning 2 years ago, as Sons and Daughters in Touch celebrated its 20th anniversary, I got my 5 and 7-year-old children up, and we went down to the wall along with other grandchildren and children of men whose names are on the wall, and we washed the wall. And it was just a really special experience to see my son scrubbing the granite that held his grandfather's name, and to think that he's learning that we honor and remember lest we repeat.
There's a long history of military conflicts and people who die after these conflicts directly resulting from things that happen to them in these conflicts.
Throughout their lives, these soldiers, sailors, Marines, and airmen were proud of their service to the United States. Their fellow countrymen cherish them in their hearts. Vietnam service is once more universally recognized as a true badge of pride and courage.
As I look at our history, I would say it's time for us to acknowledge that the veterans of Vietnam were America's greatest generation.
Ignacio Alvarez Jr. from Corpus Christi, Texas, just one of the 3,031 Hispanic heroes that made the ultimate sacrifice during the Vietnam War, and whose names are now etched in black granite on the wall in Washington, D.C.
To these soldiers, I say, welcome home.
That we're saying, welcome home. Well done.
Thank you. Gracias. And welcome home.
As we say those simple words which always greet our troops when they come home from here on out, welcome home. Welcome home. Welcome home. Thank you. We appreciate you. Welcome home.